Ceruledge looked to be one of the most promising attackers when Surging Sparks first came out, and with its attack, it's pretty easy to see why. It has a low energy cost and can hit for a large amount, especially when paired with Brilliant Blender as an ace spec. As one of the decks that will likely survive rotation, I think it's going to stay relevant for a while. The only question is it too simple and straightforward for the current game, or is it actually as strong as we initially thought? So welcome back to the PokéStop for our very first deck of this crazy Prismatic Evolutions era. Now I say crazy because, as I'm sure you know, cards are physically impossible to find right now and super expensive, but in terms of TCG Live, there's not too much changing from this set. There are a lot of playable cards being reprinted and some great SIRs to collect, but gameplay-wise, not too much is going to change until Journey Together. Now there is a Badoo card everyone's been talking about that's going to do some item locking that we'll talk about here and we'll have to look out for, but for the most part, I mean, to be completely honest, I'm recording this before the set officially releases, and I don't think the deck should change all too much. So we'll look at this deck that I like to call Michael Ceruledge, and Ceruledge EX is a lot of the times more recently played with Palkia. I'm choosing not to use Palkia in this deck because, one, it's a little more complicated. I wanted to go a little more straightforward just for my testing of this deck, and also because that card rotates soon, and I wanted to find something that I'll be able to use more often. So I know, we have some other cards in here that rotate like Lumineon V or Radiant Greninja, but I didn't want to base the deck too much around Palkia so that as I get an understanding of this deck, I can continue to use it in the future. So that's my decision to not use Palkia. Could be the wrong decision. We'll find out here pretty soon. So this deck mostly revolves around Ceruledge EX and its Abyssal Flames attack. And this attack does 30 damage plus 20 more damage for every card you put in your discard pile, or every energy card you put in your discard pile. And we have 16 fire energies, which is a ton, as well as 2 jet energies that will also count towards that total and can also help accelerate a Pokemon into the active slot. So we have a few Charcadet to help set up our Ceruledge. We also put a single Prizer Armarouge in this deck for a couple of reasons. One, because it does 70 damage, so if there's a Mimikyu that's put in front of you, you can hit through that, and also, neutralization zone, so you don't get locked out from attacking completely. So there are a few different reasons to have Armarouge in here just as kind of a backup to get around some things. One of the more impactful decisions we've made in this deck is using Brilliant Blender as our ace spec, so this will allow us to search our deck for up to 5 cards and discard them, and if we make all of those cards energy cards, we basically increase Ceruledge's attack by 100, which is huge to do early on. And that's why I have some weird cards in this deck. So I don't see this very often, but I've included Lumineon as well as Irida down here in this deck because I went through several games where I just did not see Brilliant Blender at all, and I needed to find it. So I have Lumineon in here, so if I get an Ultra Ball, I can get to a Lumineon. I can put down Lumineon to help find a supporter, and Irida can help me get to the Brilliant Blender. Also, if I just happen to pull into an Irida, I can get a Lumineon to find a different supporter later on. If I don't have my Radiant Greninja down yet, Irida helps me get to that. So it's a different path here, but I think it's been helpful to have Irida to find Brilliant Blender at either a Radiant Greninja or a Lumineon V. We of course need Radiant Greninja, which will very sadly be rotating soon and it's going to hurt so much, but this will help discard some of that energy and draw some more cards. We have Fezandipiti, of course, to draw cards later on in the game when we start to take knockouts, and then we have Squawkabilly EX to make sure we can get a really good setup and maybe discard some energy cards early on. Continuing to some more item cards, we have Earthen Vessel, of course, so we can discard one of our energy cards and pull 2 more. We have Nest Balls to find all of our basics, or a couple of our basics. A Night Stretcher to get either some energy back to put on Ceruledge, or to get a Pokemon back. We have a Pal Pad, so we can cycle through either an Irida or a Boss's Orders. We only have 1 Boss's Orders in here. Same thing with Professor Turo, so if we want to take both our Squawkabilly and our Lumineon off the bench, and we don't need to use another supporter, we can use Pal Pad to get a few of those. We have a Trekking Shoes in here, so we can dig through the deck, look at the top card, and if it's an energy card, maybe discard it. If it's something else, we can keep it. A few Ultra Balls as always, 1 to find Pokemon, and 2 because it's a great way to discard energy cards. So as you can see, there's a theme here. We're trying to discard energy cards pretty much at all turns. We have Pokéstops in here, or a single Pokéstop. I really dislike Pokéstop. I don't know if you've noticed that from watching previous videos of mine. I know a lot of people are sad to see this rotate here pretty soon, but I can't wait for Pokéstop to leave. I never have good luck with it. But we have that in here in case we get desperate. I think we mentioned 1 Boss's Orders before. We have 1 Briar because Ceruledge is a Terra Pokemon, so if we get into a spot where our opponent has 2 prize cards remaining, we can win the game with maybe an extra prize card being taken. We have Carmine in here, so again, we can discard our entire hand on turn 1 or later on. There is something to be said in here about maybe including some Professor's Research as well. I think having multiple Carmine over Professor's Research increases our chances of getting it on turn 1 when we're able to use Carmine, but Professor's Research will allow us to draw 7 cards later on. So there's a choice there if you want to switch out some Carmine for Professor's Research. We mentioned Irida here before because I really wanted to find my Brilliant Blender. We mentioned Professor Turo so we can pick a Pokemon up. Being 270 HP, I believe, in Ceruledge, there are a good number of Pokemon that don't always reach that early on in the game. And it's pretty easy to set up a Ceruledge, so there's always the option to pick up a Ceruledge with Professor Turo and then just build it back over the next 2 turns. As we mentioned before, we have Jet Energy, so we can either use that for Armarouge to get it into play or just move some Pokemon around. And then just a ton of basic fire energy so we can do a lot of damage. This will help us get to that Charizard level at 330 HP, Dragapult at 320. So we'll jump into our overall view of this deck for some screenshots and then we'll get into some gameplay. So here is the overall deck list for your screenshots. And as you can tell, there aren't too many different cards just because we've included so much energy in this deck and that takes up a lot of space. But as always, thank you for being here. It means the world to me and I'm going to challenge us a little bit to get to 35 likes. We're pretty consistently getting to 30 now, which is awesome. So if you could hit that like button, get us to 35, we'll consider that a challenge completed. And also I'm super humbled from the last video. Thank you to all the new people that have subscribed. We've passed 500, which is awesome. And that was a goal for me for like the middle of this year. So that was super quick and I appreciate it. If you find yourself here often, please join us and subscribe. And other than that, we'll get into some gameplay. Okay, we will be going first in this game. It looks like we both mulligan. So that's me. And Steel Energy, okay. So maybe our Charcadet. It's probably the most likely to be Steel Energy these days, which funny enough, I almost played for this video. I'm curious about that deck, so maybe I'll do that for the next video, depending on how this game goes and if it works well against us. We should have, the weakness advantage, typing advantage, and at least early on. And it is Duraladon, okay. So we'll go ahead and get started with our Rad Ninja since it's in here. So is Squawk, in case you want that as well. From our Ultra Ball, Trekking Shoes. No, we'll start discarding some energy. Same with this with Earthen Vessel, most likely. So we'll just start this train of discarding and bringing more energy to the hand. I don't know if I want to Squawk this away, honestly. Seeing that we only need, cool, another Charcadet. We only need like 3 energy, I think, to knock out this Duraladon on turn 2, since they won't be able to evolve it. Yeah, we'll stay here for now. We attached because if they end up knocking me out, that energy just goes to the discard pile and helps us a little bit, and we have another Charcadet, so not a big deal. We'll see what they're able to get done on turn 1. But yeah, 3 energy discarded would give us 60 damage plus 30 more. It is 3, right? Yeah. And then doubled, we'll take out this Duraladon, so that's fine. And we'll see what else they can do. Having this Ceruledge in hand, as well as an Ultra Ball if we want to be able to get to a Lumineon for Brilliant Blender is nice. Night Stretcher is cool too. Probably need that later on. All right, so they got Dialga down. And they'll attach. Any other Duraladon? No. Okay, just 30 damage. And back to us. So, I mean, do we want to overextend and try and take out this Dialga? Again, pretty early on playing this deck, I don't know if I want to go too crazy. Let me know in the comments if that's the wrong decision or if this is the wrong decision to not do that. But I could Ultra Ball for Lumineon, try and get to Dialga here, or get boss's orders to take in Dialga. But I think I don't think I'm going to do that. Yeah, we'll just get another Charcadet for now, so that they don't boss up a Fezandipiti. Evolve, and then do we put this Armarouge in? I mean, this will take out a Duraladon if needed later on, so just so we don't lose that in hand, we'll evolve it. We'll go ahead and do our attack, doing 220. And we'll see what we can get to from here. I think I'm more worried about an Charcadet, because I think once our Charcadet attacks, it's no longer weak to us anymore, and I don't know that we can get to an attack big enough to take it out early on. So we'll make them reset that up, and then we might actually be able to take out this Dialga. So I'm feeling like maybe that was the right play, to do it in this order and not overextend with the boss's orders, as I often like to do. But we'll see. Here's Counter Catcher, probably for the Greninja, because I don't see a reason to use that otherwise. But I don't think they'll be able to attack, because their energy acceleration comes from our Charcadet, I think. Yep. Okay, so we won't be able to concealed cards because we'll need that energy to retreat.
Wrong.
There are 2 more energy, literally, right there. Pay attention, man. We don't need Squawk anymore. We'll go ahead and get, yeah, plenty of Night Stretcher. So we'll go ahead and get another Ceruledge while we have the chance. Yeah, and then we'll retreat our Radiant Greninja, which will increase our damage a little bit. We should have plenty to further our lead. All right, so it's 130 damage without the weakness. So we have a ways to go if we want to knock out a full Duraladon, which has like 280 or 300 HP. It's something up there. Oh, it'll tell us right here, 300. Okay, so they'll probably grab 2 steel energy from this ability. And then doing 220, I don't think they'll knock me out, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, this Pokemon has no weakness after it attacks. And I don't think we can get to 300 on our next turn. Lumineon would get us to, oh, their Lumineon's gonna get Iono. Okay, so there goes our Lumineon and our chance to get our Brilliant Blender, unless we draw into it here for the one time. No, of course not. Okay, I mean, we do still have an Ultra Ball. Discarding 2 more would get us to 150, 170. Brilliant Blender would get us to 270. So even with Brilliant Blender, we're still a few energy short of a knockout. Plus we have to attach an energy to Ceruledge here. Well, I guess they're not knocking me out, but eventually we will need to. So again, they won't knock us out here, but we also won't, I don't believe we'll have what we need to take a knockout unless we get a Carmine. And then hope we pull, like, to discard these 2 energy and then draw into a bunch of energy and a Brilliant Blender. That's asking a lot though, so we might just not be able to take a knockout on the next turn. There's their Radiant Greninja. I'm sure they wanted that earlier for some draw support. We did get a quick lead in this game, which is good. So even if we both stall here for a second, we should be fine. Another Ceruledge. All right, let's see what else we can get. Trekking Shoes. Yeah, we'll attach to Ceruledge because we'll need to do that once this one gets knocked out. Yeah, it's only 150, 170 from this one. Pretty sure it's not enough. What do we got here with Trekking Shoes? If it's a, yeah. We don't want that for this turn, but we will want that when this gets knocked out. Because yeah, even if we got to 1 more energy, we'd get to 290. I think it's too much, so we'll put 150 here, see if they have that Professor Turo in hand. If they do, I think they're taking a knockout. Okay, they have a Pokegear, so they'll most likely be able to find it. There it is. Bummer. I suppose they were going to take a knockout at some point, so that's fine. And right back in comes our Charcadet. It's a cool engine this deck has. We'll see if they have 1 more energy in hand. They have another Duraladon getting ready. All right, but we really need to find a way, maybe with Fezandipiti can get us like an Earthen Vessel or something. Like, I'd really like to get to 300 on our attack in this turn, which I think is now possible if we get a couple more cards in our hand. Okay, let's see. We'll flip the script. What can we get? Carmine, that's good. No, but I think we need Irida for Brilliant Blender. Do we start Earthen Vessel or do we concealed cards? I guess we'll make sure we can get rid of this one and we have more in hand. I think we're gonna have to discard some jet energy from the amount left in our hand because there's only 2 more cards left in there. Lumineon, okay, so this, yeah, this will get us Irida. Yeah, I think we want Irida here. And then we'll use this for Brilliant Blender to increase our damage output a bit, 210. Let's see how many are left. Yeah, I think 2 left here. I guess we do the jet energy. Hurts us for Armarouge a little bit, but I think we still should be able to get to it. We can pull a couple energy back using Night Stretcher. And then while we're here, we'll discard some more. Who cares? I guess I care, so I can set up another Ceruledge. 310, all right, we made it. Math skills. I was totally counting that whole time. All right, got our attack here, and yeah, I answered that question wrong. Should probably get rid of that little pop-up, but at this point, if they set up another one, we have the damage, so it'd be pretty hard for them to take their last 4 prize cards. 2 more energy in our prize cards. But yeah, at this point, okay, yeah, I think we should be able to take out anything. Sorry, I was just thinking about like how I would get to a boss if I needed to. But then again, we have Ceruledge in hand and an energy in hand, so we will get to our next attacker just fine. Not really much they can do at this point. Oh, and that's it. Conceded. Okay, that was fun. I like that our Duraladon deck as well. All right, and we're going first once again. So we're getting pretty lucky with how we start. Maybe not so lucky with the mulligans, but that's okay. 2 games in a row that we've mulliganed. And Fezandipiti. That's a bummer. Don't want to start with Fezandipiti, but we'll see what we can get to here. And we'll see what we're playing against. Palkia. Okay, so I wonder if this is like a semi-mirror match playing Ceruledge, or if they're playing Palkia with a Greninja or something, but we'll Trekking Shoes, start discarding our energy here. Nice, there's a Charcadet. See if we can get our Rad Ninja. Oh, prized. Okay, so Squawkabilly then. We didn't have a need to use Squawkabilly last game because I liked my hand, but this time I think we'll need to use it. So we'll go ahead and attach to Charcadet for turn 2, then we'll Carmine for a new hand. All right, plenty to do here. So we'll Trekking Shoes. Again, no on the energy. PokéStop. I don't think I want to PokéStop and give that to them, but we'll go ahead and use our Nest Ball before we Squawk. Yeah, Earthen Vessel 2. Get 2 more energy. Man, we are cooking. Cooking with fire here, and then we'll Squawk and Seize to get rid of these 3 energy. Ooh, Brilliant Blender. Okay, we have a Ceruledge 2 for next turn. This has worked out well. All right, so we'll go ahead and use this. Get this out of the way so our damage is high. We'll just do all fire, I think. Save those jet energies just in case. And that'll be it for now. We'll hold for a moment and we'll see more of our opponent's deck here, but we should be able to evolve to our Ceruledge EX. I guess I should have kept an energy to retreat Fez. There's their Fez. Oh, I don't think I had an energy in his hand, actually. I don't think I had that option. But yeah, even without Radiant Greninja, we discarded a ton of energy. So we should probably have enough to take a knockout if we can get Fezandipiti out of the way. Ooh, there they go. That was a huge Squawk and Seize in terms of energy. So if they can get to a Ceruledge, they'll be doing a bunch of damage as well. Palkia not so much though. I know they can't evolve Palkia on this turn, so we'll probably be able to knock it out if we can get Fez out of the way. They're just going to rule the region? They are. I never see this used. Gonna get a stadium card. Okay. I don't know what stadium card they use. Another Ceruledge. Cool, that's good for evolving all of the things. So why not? Put another Charcadet down for maybe a future Armarouge or something. I don't think we need Ultra Balls right now. Just need an energy. Oh good, Earthen Vessel will get us an energy. So will Night Stretcher. But 12 in the discard pile, so we're doing 240. Yeah, 270. So we're definitely taking a knockout here. Okay, so we'll Earthen Vessel. I think since we have a couple Stretcher, that's the choice. Get our energy for Fez and add to our discard pile. All right, thought that might cost us 2 prize cards, but we were okay. And from here, 290. Yeah, we're doing plenty. So we're taking out a Ceruledge, we're taking out a Palkia. I think Greninja would be 310 HP, so maybe not a Greninja if that's what they're playing. Professor Turo to pick something back up if they don't have the damage at some point, or to get rid of this Squawk. But yeah, they're in a tough spot here. No attackers. Jamming Tower was the stadium they pulled. That I think that's tool cards, so I do not care about Jamming Tower. Charcadet. Okay, so they are playing Ceruledge. Monkey Dory. Well, not leaving any damage on them. Oh, Monkey Dory as the sacrificial lamb here. That seemed like important cards they just got rid of. In terms of like Briar and some other things, but man, poor Monkey Dory just being sent to the front with no dark energy to be able to even move damage off the board. You hate to see it. All right, Trekking Shoes. Go ahead and attach since we're doing plenty of damage. See what we can get. Irida? No, I guess we used our Brilliant Blender. Guess I could have gotten Lumineon with that. So instead, yeah, we'll get Lumineon now. Just moving a little too quick, but that's okay. So Lumineon for Boss's orders. We can stay on our 2 prize race here. Let Monkey Dory live, even though they didn't want to give him that option. And then we will bring in Fezandipiti. So yeah, even if they want to attack us with a Ceruledge, on the next turn we have one in reserve. So I think this is the right answer here. Stay on our 2 prize race and make sure if they leave a 2 prizer in the active in the future that we can just win. So what do we got here? Ah, there's our Radiant Greninja. Good to see you. I guess our opponent didn't use a Radiant Greninja either, so we were even there. Monkey Dory back to put his life on the line for the good of the team. But yeah, basically at this point, if they get, oh, there's Radiant Greninja. If they put a Ceruledge in play and attack with it, they will take a knockout, but we can just knock it out on the next turn with our other Ceruledge. But yeah, way ahead in this one. I think their deck is just too confusing. There goes the Dark Energy that would allow Monkey Dory to do anything if there was damage on the board. Their Charcadet out of the prize cards. Don't know that they have much they can do here. Prime Catcher. Okay, so they do have a way to attack, most likely with Ceruledge. You just need the evolution and energy. I don't know why they chose Lumineon. Or for like Fezandipiti or something to knock out, but That's fine. There's the energy. Oh, no Ceruledge. Okay, well, we can get rid of that with Professor Turo. Evolve this, bring him to the party, because why not? I guess we have Lumineon back in our hand now. If we get boss's orders back, that'd be fun. Oh, and we can. Ask and you shall receive. Not that we can use it on this turn, but that was funny. And then we'll just go ahead and grab that with Lumineon. Here's boss's orders. I guess I could have waited to put Lumineon back down for the next turn, but they have no way to attack us. That's funny that we got it back, just because we said it out loud. Take a prize card, and yeah, I don't think there's much they're going to be able to do here. So yeah, it is a bummer when your opponent can stall with single prize cards. I think that's kind of a weakness of this deck, is getting caught in that trade where you're taking out single prizers and they're taking out two prizers against your Ceruledge, because almost every card in this deck is a two prizer. So that's where you can get into some trouble, but their mirror match here worked well. I don't know if they'll use this Lumineon for a boss's orders or something, or Professor's research. They're just digging for anything at this point. But yeah, they have no way to attack us, so kind of just stalling at this point. Using all of the cards they possibly can. Maybe they want to deck themselves out, lose that way. So they're trying their hardest. All right, and that's the game. 6 prize cards to none. But yeah, fun deck to use when everything seems to work out like it did here. You're still here? It's over. Go watch another video. Go.